This set of jumps is designed for both beginner and expert mountain bikers. It's an unusual design that isn't often seen in the mountain bike world. And with only 15 days experience in an excavator, I'm not sure if I can build them properly. On top of that, the lack of rain has made what is supposed to be a flow trail looking more like a beach. So today I'm going to build a jump with something called a Quark knuckle. Basically, it's a progressive jump that allows the rider to go bigger and bigger each time they ride the jump. So what it is that the right side will be more of like a tabletop, and the left side will be more of like a double. And it'll be like a smooth transition between the two, and that'll allow the rider, starting on the small side, to go small, and as they go bigger and bigger and bigger, it becomes more of a gap. The concept is difficult to visualize, so here are some computer graphics. This is a normal tabletop jump. If you ride anywhere along the lip, the jump will remain the same. Now if you take the same jump and put it on an angle, the jump changes. The low side is the easy side, and the high side is now the difficult side. At a dip, and the high side becomes a gap jump. The riders can start with the easy side and slowly work their way over. It's called the Quark jump and is perfect for progression. All this was conceived of by World Trail, an Australian trail building company. They've used the Quark jump extensively in Derby, and that's where I learned about it. It works so well, I've got to put it in the trail. The only thing is I'm not sure if I've got the trail sense to build it properly, but I've got to at least try. But it's not like I have zero experience. I'm 15 days into this build and I've already built 220 meters of trail. The first tabletop jump through the fallen tree was a bit tricky, and dealing with the dense layer of clay just below the surface certainly complicated things. But as I moved down the trail, my skills on the sticks improved. And by the time I got to the big berm, I was fairly comfortable with the machine. Now the problem is not so much me, but the weather. It hasn't rained in over a week, and every scoop I dig up is bone dry. If it doesn't rain, these jumps are no better than the dirt they're composed of. And it's not like I can just stop and wait for rain. I've given myself a month to complete the build. 15 days in and I'm already behind schedule. So pushing on after the big berm, I've continued with a couple more small berms and a tabletop jump. I'm placing a lot of importance on the trail working properly. All the jumps need to be trail speed. This means in order to clear them, a rider should not have to pedal or brake. It should just work. And this is a high standard to hit. I know I've ridden plenty of professionally built trails that do not work properly. With the creation of these S-berms connecting the trail to the first Quark jump, there's more work to be done. Alright, I built my hipped out Quark knuckle two-sided progressive jump. Now it's time to build another one over there. Being so flat, it's a tricky area to build as well. I have to excavate dirt from a larger area to build these jumps. If I were to just dig a big hole, it would fill with water. In fact, drainage is quite tricky here. Long drains are the only way to get water to flow downhill. Not that that's a problem at the moment. This jump was a pleasure to build. I could just take big scoops of dirt and turn them into a jump. I wasn't hitting that hard layer of clay, just lots of easy scoops. But there's one problem. This material is powder right now. Look at this. This got packed by the bucket and just falling apart. The problem is it hasn't rained for weeks and I really need it to finish this trail. So fingers crossed we get some rain. All right, so now that I've built my second Quark knuckle jump, I want to build a third one just behind me in the opposite direction. And as you might be able to see, I flagged it out. So it's time to strip some grass and stick it at the bottom of the jump. Hydraulic rams are to excavators as muscles are to humans. As the muscle extends, the bucket is pulled in. As it contracts, the bucket extends. There's a lot of power in these cylinders, and it's something I could have used back home. When I had to pull out a stump, it took me hours. I did it! Oh man, that was a lot of work. But with an excavator, it's all very nonchalant, isn't it? Well, the controls are rather simple, and here's future Eric to show you the basics. So if you pull back on the stick here, it'll raise the boom. And if you pull back on this one, it'll pull back on the arm. So pretty simple. If you want to turn the turret of the machine, you can just use your left stick to turn left, turn right. Pretty basic. If you want to curl the bucket, just use your right stick. Left is curl in, right is curl out. And then this excavator is a little bit special because it has a tilt bucket. So there's a little wheel on here you can just use to just tilt the bucket. And that turns out to be quite handy for certain tasks. All these controls one at a time are quite simple, but the trickiest one is to try to pull in and just grade the ground, just make a flat surface. And a lot of trail building is making these very specific surfaces. It's not so much creating a pile of dirt, but it's making a shape out of that pile of dirt. But sometimes the shape is difficult to see. It's a machine that allows you to build features so big, you literally have to get out of the machine to gain some perspective. The top edge of the lip has a curve in it. Just a little more dirt, that's better. Each new Quark jump is bigger than the last. This one in particular is taking a long time to make. I often have a habit of biting off more than I can chew. So now that I've finished the last of the Quark-knuckled progressive hip jump thingies, it's time to move on. And we need to get to that log over there. And to get to that log, we need a switchback. So after the hip, I'm going to have a little chicane, if you will, and then it'll completely switch back on the hill, and we'll get to the log, where we'll do something pretty special. As I build this chicane feature, just watching, well, my intentions are far from obvious. Maybe some of you can figure it out. It's the most complicated feature I've built so far, but there is method to the madness. So it's definitely kind of a weird thing, but I like it. So in case you didn't catch it, this is how it works. So standing on the right-hand hip, you can land here, have the support to get into that berm, And then if you land here, you can just go straight to that berm and then around. But I have an option down the middle here, and if you hit the berm, which becomes a lip, you'll be able to transfer into the following berm by skipping this one. So I hope it works. I tried to build it fairly safe. Often these berm-to-berm transfers are never intentional, but in this case I'm making it intentional and I'd like it to work and work relatively easily. Now if we could get some rain to get this all to pack in. From here, it's just a matter of completing the switchback berm and then creating the trail to the log. So this is why I want rain so much. This is one of the first berms I built, and it's rock hard. It's got a dusty surface, but it's really quite dense. And that's what's gonna happen to those jumps down there. But I just need a bit of rain to do it. All right, let's see how we go. It's been 2 weeks since it last rained, and I'm becoming desperate to see the trail is actually working. Everything is still bone dry, but I've got to at least try. Haha! Still loose there. Oh man. Alright, I can't do it yet. Still too powdery. Oh man, I've never been so happy that it's raining. It's time to slap. Slapping is the act of taking a shovel and slapping it against the dirt, thus packing it in, creating a harder surface. It's tough on the body, but if I want the trail to roll fast, this is what I need to do. You know, it's pretty amazing how much the rain affects the dirt. The area behind me used to be basically a beach, but now it's still soft, but it's getting harder, like way harder. It's kind of magical, actually. And Simon has returned. He's the expert who taught me how to use the excavator, and he's helping me again by making the lips on these jumps as good as they can be. And another one of Simon's trail building tricks, roll packing. It's similar to slapping, but much more effective.
Oh, sorry man. You blew over. Whoops.
All right, there's no wind today, and the trail should be working better. So let's give it a try. All right, let's see. Woohoo! That one's tricky. Okay. The long and low might be too long. A camera here should show exactly what's going on. Yeah. Okay, I have to pull it back. Seems like it's a full bike length, really, if not more. All right, if I recall correctly, my front wheel's like landing there. So that's actually quite a bit I have to take off of it. That's probably my biggest mistake so far. Like, I really misjudged that one. I thought you'd be coming way faster after the big jump through this corner, but no, you're not. So I gotta shorten it. Yeah. Okay, so 1 bike length, I think. And I need something to mark that with. So, same lip, but back here. Oh, it's a bit sad, but oh well. Live and learn. The problem with casing a jump is that it's slower. The lost speed affects the following jumps, creating a domino effect. I'm not sure if adjusting this jump will fix the following ones, but it should at least help. Alright, let's give it another go. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, it works. Oh, I'm happy. Oh, that felt so good. Oh, it's all working. Yeah. So it was that one jump that was kind of messing the whole thing up. Yeah, let's do one more lap. It's a bit windy, but you don't know how good it feels to clear those jumps. The amount of anxiety I had about whether they'd work. I'm really happy to have this bit of success. But I'm not done yet. I still have 2 massive features to build. I still have to clear the berm gap and also hit the bigger sides of the Quark jumps. I also need to name the trail. Maybe you guys can help with that. The trail system is located at Meadowbank, a vineyard in Tasmania. Many of the trail names here are wine-based. They also keep sheep here. And next to the first Quark jump, the remains of an unlucky individual. Leave your ideas down in the comments, and I'll announce the winner in the next video. Awesome. All works. Trail speed.